Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking to Mr. Habib Rahman, the chairman of Migrant Voice and former executive officer of JCWI. Mr. Rahman, your association with Migrant Voice is rather short compared to what you have been doing with JCWI, but both the organizations are slightly different.
Yes.
Their agenda is different. Their clients are different.
Yes.
Can we know something about
Migrant Voice?
Migrant Voice?
Yes. As I was saying, the JCWI's USP was legal work, campaigning work, very long time,
Right.
standing role for that, and experience for that. Migrant Voice was established to create a voice for migrants, those who do not have the voice, not other people like me and others speaking for them. They themselves to speak. And I thought it's a very good thing. In the Migrant Voice board where I'm chairing, Refugee Council's chief executive is
Right.
there, all the main organizations, some of the organizations, those who are NGOs working with
Right.
refugees and migrants are there. And then I'm lucky to, and I'm indebted to them, they made me chair. And I thought it's a different kind of work.
Right.
It's to create and facilitate those people, migrants, to speak for themselves.
How do you connect with the migrants?
And that's why it's a membership organization. The Migrant Voice has got the membership in London, in Edinburgh, in Glasgow, in Manchester,
Right.
in Birmingham, and all the main cities mainly.
They come through to you through different chapters.
Different channels. And we have got committees also. There is a committee a representative committee is elected in Birmingham, and then also in Aberdeen, the Glasgow, in Aberdeen for Scotland, they're doing that. And they come through that, and there is a mechanism in the organization to facilitate these people. Migrant Voice started with publishing a newspaper. You probably have seen on the Tube networks, Migrant Voice it is called, and then they used to speak English language newspaper. And from there it started. And then I thought I'm retired from JCWI now, I've got some time, I can give some experience to them
Right.
and help them.
Right, it's a good idea. Good idea. This, as we were talking during the break, you see, this great influx of refugees from war-stricken countries and also from not war-stricken countries, mainly from Asia, Middle East, and Africa. There was a time when there are our Commonwealth cousins. You see, there was a time when a good number of these countries were part of the British Empire.
Yes.
And a lot of people sacrificed their lives, most families, in case of India and Pakistan. Some families were divided on this side of the border, that side of the border. Similar things happened when Bangladesh was created. Some people had to go to
India and other countries.
and other countries. And there was a lot of suffering, you see. Now, we achieved our independence twice, but in case
Yes.
of Bangladesh, you see.
Yes,
Where still people want to
come here.
get out of the country, jump the boat. Is the boat rocking? Is there something wrong with us? Something wrong with African countries? What has happened? I mean, we wanted our own countries. Now we want to leave our country.
Very good questions and very difficult questions. Let me answer it in the easiest way
Right.
possible.
Well,
Now,
I
after the
thought that you would be able to answer this.
After 1945, the war, Second World War, there are few things came out as a result of that war, and the right side won the war,
Right.
and we got the freedom. Hitler was defeated. And one of the best piece of legislation or covenant came out from that, mainly drafted by British lawyers and academics, Geneva Convention,
Right.
that convention, 1951 Geneva Convention, which is the main document which gives the rights to people to come to a country and claim refuge.
Right.
Okay, and that the fundamental reason, principle in that document is that well-founded fear of persecution for the reasons, political belief, their religious belief, their creed, their this kind of thing, the belonging to a group of group in the society, community, all these things, the fundamental reasons for that. If their fear of persecution, if they have, they can flee. And that's a very well-intentioned, good piece of document.
Right.
And then it's helped people, the post Second World War, all these Jewish people can come to this country and other countries. After our war, in Bangladesh war you mentioned, the people could get the refugee status.
Yes.
In the different countries, including this country. Now the second part of the question, you said that this is a great piece of legislation. It gives people safety, a safe haven, if they are fleeing for persecution. And there are many people, you know what's going on in Syria now, Iraq, what's going on, people are not safe. Afghanistan, what's going on, wars were created, and from that war are people fleeing. There is no place for the people to stay. We can see the destructions in those countries,
Right.
and they're fleeing from those kind of things.
That is reasonably
This is
understandable.
reasonable. Okay, I'll come to the other question. They are fleeing, and it is our duty, including all of ours, in white, black, whatever denomination we are, living in here in safety, to open our arms to receive them. Their humanity, I mean human rights activists,
Right.
humanity, for the sake of humanity, give them a safe haven. So that's first thing. Now other reason, the question you said, that yes, Bangladesh got independent, there are general safeties in there for people.
Right.
Why still people coming from Bangladesh?
Not just Bangladesh.
And other parts of the
other
world,
parts.
they are coming in here. There are two reasons for that. When you create a very strict border, okay, Bangladesh, I just give an example. Before 1986, Bangladesh visa was not mandatory for Bangladesh. People. All the Bangladesh didn't come here.
True.
Because we created a very strict regime in these countries to come in, then there is a saying that if there is a fortress, people want to breach the fortress of the wall of the fortress. There is a tendency. Other side of the river is always greener.
Right.
Okay, we would like to come. So we create an attraction for those people. But also there are people in Bangladesh, we know the things going on now. What you see, other day, headmaster was, insulted.
Yeah, insulted,
things,
yes.
And I saw in the newspapers. So I must say that the people, if they do not feel, even in there, the government is not giving the safety in there from persecution, because their freedom of speaking or the freedom of their religion or freedom of their creed, there's something. If they do not give that protection, people will flee from there. Even a person, I just give an example, there are cases in here that a gay person, if in Pakistan and in a society like Pakistan, claims that he or she hasn't got a protection in that country,
Right.
then they can flee to a country. So these are the reasons. So we should not blame the good piece of legislation, good piece of law the humanity has created, human intelligence has created. Our foreparents has created those kind of atmosphere. We should not abuse that. At the same time, we should not undermine that also. That's given us freedom. And it's a balance to strike is very difficult, and we have been, as a human rights activist, always striking that balance. And very difficult to speak.
We'll be running out of time soon, so
Yeah.
I want to go to another question. Do you think this movement about referendum, to be in the EU or out of EU, do you think that whichever way we go is going to influence our attitude towards the accepting refugees?
The government this present government has deplorably, for me, that they've said they will take, under a lot of pressure, the London was full of people. I was involved in that movement. Thousands and thousands, 200, quarter of a million
Yeah.
people came to London for give home to the refugees.
Yes.
The
They say it was
government agreed to
100,000.
take in.
They say it was 100,000, but anyway.
Yeah. So 100,000, but we say quarter of a million to 100,000 people came. Now, there was a swell of public opinion on behalf, and the feeling for these people
Right.
were there. And the government has changed its voice and then says, we'll take 20,000 refugees in 5 years. It's a politicking, I should say, you know, the 5,000, because Britain takes 20,000 refugees anyway, every year, not in 5 years. They will take Syrian refugees, they will take. But if the Brexit, what will happen? There are those who are arguing for Brexit. They are one of the, what I'm watching them, the one of the main reason they are arguing that we will stop immigration.
Right.
Immigration has been good for Britain all the time. You just look at the Britain, look at our community. Don't have to go further. That I came to East London and found ghost town in places. Those are rejuvenated by the new ideas and
Yes.
all these things. Immigrants comes, contribute, work hard to better their life and contribute for everyone's prosperity.
But that was
Never
after
been
the
bad.
Second World War, isn't it? That was the impact of Second World War.
Yeah.
I would like to thank you for your time and all the knowledge that you have shared with us. And
It's
thank you very
great
much
pleasure.
for being with us.
Thank you very much for
Not at all.
inviting me.
Not at all. Pleasure hosting
Give
you.
me this opportunity to speak.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us, viewers. We hope that you've enjoyed the show as much as we have. And we have a difficult situation right now with the refugees waiting to come into the country and the government trying not to. But may Allah help us all, and may we offer them better opportunities. Thank you, and inshallah see you again next week. Same time, same channel.